Welcome to the latest remote edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp, and our top items for this edition are the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic on the peninsula, a proposed rock wall at Portsea Beach has locals fuming, hope for the easing of a notorious freeway bottleneck, Frankston Council proves it's relatively easy being green, and the march of the spider crabs ends but debate continues, and Volcano in Mount Martha aims high with community help. Now we go to the full stories. We go first to Shivani Pillay for the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thanks, Catie. The state of emergency is being extended until July 19th, with restrictions tightened rather than the predicted ease, following a massive spike in coronavirus positive tests, which has seen an increase in daily double digits for 5 days in a row. The recent increase in COVID-19 cases has been fueled by family gatherings and infected workers not staying at home. There has also been an outbreak among contractors working at the Stamford Plaza in the city, where returned international travellers are being quarantined. Victorian Chief Health Officer, Professor Brett Sutton, said, "We are absolutely at a risk of a further second peak." The surge in cases has included several families who have gathered in large numbers at home despite being ordered to isolate separately, including some who had tested positive. And the AFL season is under threat after Essendon's Connor McKenna tested positive to coronavirus, forcing Sunday's Bombers versus Melbourne game to be postponed. None of the new cases are on the Mornington Peninsula or in Frankston. New restrictions apply from Sunday, the 21st of June at midnight. Family gatherings are reduced to a maximum of 5 people per household. Public gatherings, indoors and outdoors, are reduced to 10. There will be no increase in the number of patrons at restaurants, cafes, pubs, galleries, outdoor amusement parks, zoos, arcades, and places of worship, which will remain open for up to 20 people per space. Alcohol can now be served to seated patrons without food. Gyms, indoor sports centres, indoor cinemas, theatres, concert venues, auditoriums, bars, nightclubs and clubs will be allowed to reopen as promised on Monday, but will be restricted to 20 people. Community sport, which involves contact, is permitted for those under 18, and non-contact sport will return for all age groups. And there is hope for skiers, with the skiing season set to launch. Just under 8 million people have contracted coronavirus worldwide, and over 400,000 people have died. In Australia, as at the 21st of June 2020, there have been 7,436 cases. However, the death toll remains steady at 102 cases in Australia and 19 cases in Victoria. Police will be enforcing restrictions. We are encouraged to stay vigilant, get tested if we suspect symptoms, and isolate if we test positive, including isolation from work and from our family members. We are also encouraged to report breaches. That's the COVID-19 update. I'm Shivani Pillay. Back to you, Catie.
Thank you, Shivani. The suggested building of a rock wall at Portsea Front Beach has sparked community backlash and condemnation from Shire councillors. Councillors allege the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning has secret plans to build an emergency wall revetment just east of the sandbags placed a decade ago to protect the Portsea foreshore from encroaching waters. The sandbag wall is currently under repair after $2.5 million was allotted by the state government for its restoration. Mornington Peninsula Shire Council successfully postponed the proposed building of a rock wall at Portsea in 2018, describing it as an ugly band-aid. Delworth Regional Manager Dick Ford has denied the allegations, saying his department does not have any plans to install further protective structures at the beach. There is hope on the horizon for a notorious freeway bottleneck in Rosebud. Plans are afoot to fund an improvement to the segment between Jetty Road and Bonio Road. A federal grant of $3.5 million will go to the state government to build a business case proposing a separation and duplication of the freeway to Bonio Road, along with pedestrian upgrades, a flyover at Jetty Road, and sound barriers between Dramana and Rosebud. Mornington Peninsula Shire is inviting members of the community to share their views on the Shire's draft climate emergency plan. The plan, titled Ensuring Our Future, outlines specific targets, timeframes and budgets to achieve zero carbon emissions for the peninsula by 2040. The Shire declared a climate emergency in August 2019, a decision which was met with strong community support and unanimous agreement by councillors. The Council's current strategies include a carbon-neutral policy aiming to reduce emissions and achieve carbon neutrality in council operations by 2021, a biodiversity plan to protect and improve the peninsula's landscapes and natural ecosystems, and a Beyond Zero Waste strategy, a plan for reaching zero waste by 2030. Interested members of the community can read more about the draft plan and have their say on the Shire website. Community consultation for the draft plan will be open until Wednesday, the 15th of July. Frankston Council has announced that as of July the 1st, the Civic Centre, Frankston Arts Centre, Operations Centre and Community Hubs will all be powered by 100% renewable energy from Bolds Hill Wind Farm in Gippsland. The Council says this will be a big step towards achieving its target of zero emissions by 2025. The new supply of renewable energy is expected to reduce Frankston City Council's greenhouse gas emissions by 2,309 tonnes each year. Coming up after the break, a call to the state government to help with homelessness.
Hi, I'm Fiona, Manager at the Peninsula Community Bank.
As Australia's fifth largest retail bank, Bendigo Bank offers competitive products and services.
We give our 1.8 million customers the service and technology they need.
And we're staying true to our values, giving back to our community through our grants and sponsorships.
So if your bank isn't doing the right thing by you, change to one you can feel better about. Visit us here at Peninsula.
Welcome back. Mornington Peninsula Shire Council has called on the Victorian State Government to do more to help support the peninsula's growing population of homeless people. Statistics show 16% of the Mornington Peninsula's homeless population are forced to sleep rough, making the region the sixth highest local government area for this problem in the state. Last week, police and council staff used a bobcat to move along homeless people who have been living at Rosebud Camping Ground. Mayor Sam Hearn called the coming and going of homeless people through the Shire a merry-go-round and said the state government is needed to do something about it. Issues include a lack of funding as well as a low supply of crisis accommodation and social and affordable housing. The yearly giant spider crab migration has come to an end but continues to spark controversy as hundreds of visitors ignored social distancing regulations to cram Rye Pier, forcing authorities to temporarily close the popular destination. Despite warnings from environmentalists and an ongoing petition to ban fishing of the crabs, the catch limit for recreational fishers remains at a high 30. The migration, known to be the largest in the world, is a huge draw for tourism, but the plundering of the crabs at their most vulnerable continues to be hotly contested. Chicken carcasses used as bait in crab nets were seen at the ocean floor at Rye Pier, prompting an investigation by Parks Victoria and the Environmental Protections Agency. The huge crowds which gathered to see the crabs provoked community concern for pier infrastructure, as well as for the amount of litter left behind by fishers. Fisheries Victoria said there are no plans to stop fishing for the crabs. In response to the impact of the pandemic, Frankston Council has decided to cut its art sculpture budget for the upcoming year. 9 art projects were postponed to ensure the council has the funding needed to support its people and the economy as the region recovers. Restaurateur David Weil, owner of Volpino in Mount Martha, has prepared 1,000 meals for individuals and families in need. The meal program is distributed through the Mornington Community Information and Support Centre. A surge in donations from the community saw the planned amount of meals increase from 50 to 100 and now to 1,000. Volpino has now upgraded their goal to producing 2,000 meals. Each pre-cooked meal costs $10 to prepare and is available to those suffering financial hardship. The centre's general manager said he hoped to see the initiative continue post-lockdown. And now we'll take a look at the weather for the week. Today, Friday the 19th of June, brings a mostly sunny day with a high of 17 and a low of 9. 40% chance of rain tonight and a chance of thunderstorm later tonight. Winds northerly 30 to 45 kilometres per hour. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be cloudy with a high of 15 and a low of 9. Very high chance of rain and a thunderstorm. Winds northerly 20 to 30 kilometres per hour. On Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 13 and a low of 6. A 60% chance of showers and winds northerly 15 to 20 kilometres per hour, becoming light during the morning. Monday will be partly cloudy with a high of 13 and a low of 6. Patchy morning fog, very high chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon and evening. Light winds becoming westerly 15 to 25 kilometres per hour during the afternoon. Tuesday will also be partly cloudy with a high of 15 and a low of 7. Medium chance of showers, most likely during the morning. Winds southwesterly 20 to 30 kilometres per hour, turning southerly during the morning. On Wednesday, partly cloudy with a high of 14 and a low of 7. 30% chance of showers and a light wind. And on Thursday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 14 and a low of 5. Patchy morning fog, slight chance of a shower, light winds becoming northerly 15 to 25 kilometres per hour later on. Now it's time for our weekly surf report. How are those waves looking out there, Muzz?
Hi and welcome to this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. As you can see behind me, beautiful conditions. We've had a great run of waves this week and it is set to continue. Light winds to offshore winds right through till midway through next week. Probably Saturday, Sunday, we should even be back on the beach breaks and it should be pretty much fun right through. So good luck. If you're not getting in the surf, I feel a bit sorry for you because there's been tons of waves. So keep going, perennial offshore winds and heaps of swell. So have a good week and I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Remember, if you can work from home, please do so. Stay safe, wash your hands and shop locally to support our community. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.